Izumo no Okuni Overview. FGO Codex Entry 8-1. Okuni is a 5-star caster class servant in Fate Grand Order. She is a damage caster with a strong single-target Noble Phantasm and high critical damage on her cards. Izumo no Okuni's skills are largely focused on buffing her critical damage, buster card damage, and quick card damage. She also possesses a 50% NP battery skill and has some hard survivability, with a 2-time evade skill that lasts 3 turns. All in all, she is a self-supporting, well-rounded damage caster. The only downside for all of her multitude of options is that she has to pay with extremely long cooldowns on her skills. This usually means that while self-sustaining for the first few turns, she will inevitably need time to get going again. Izumo no Okuni Offense. FGO Codex Entry 8-2. Okuni's skills are built around 2 things generally: hitting the enemy with a strong quick single target NP, and hitting the enemy with strong critical hits. Due to her abilities which buff both buster and quick cards, her damage is never as focused as pure 1-card type buffing servants. She is however much more consistent at getting the cards she needs, as she has 4 cards that work for her. This makes it easy to brave chain optimally with her NP and any combination of buster and quick cards. While she is consistent at getting 1 great punch in with her cards, she can be tricky to make work outside of that. Her skills all have long cooldowns that will be hard to work around, and her first skill also has her utility tied up with her buffs, making it so you have to use her evade to get her full damage output. Now, despite the rough edges of her kit, you can plan around her downtime with the right supports, and the caster class has few damage dealers who can compete with her raw damage output, despite its all-or-nothing approach. Izumo no Okuni Craft Essences. FGO Codex Entry 8-3. Izumo no Okuni can use a large selection of craft essences. The buffs she is looking for are NP Damage Up, NP Charge, Quick Up, Critical Damage Up, or Star Generation. To this end, Black Grails and Kaleidoscopes are fine, but several craft essences do multiple of the needed buffs to a lesser extent. Notably, you may want to have a craft essence that gives you stars when you enter the battle to help get going quickly. Also, C-Star Gen, like a fragment of 2030, can be applied to support servants to help them keep the crit chance up throughout the battle. Izumo no Okuni Team Compositions. FGO Codex Entry 8-4. Okuni can function as your main source of damage, or a self-reliant secondary, as she provides most of the buff she needs to get going. She does not need much in the way of support, especially given her downtime. It's good to pair her with another damage dealer who can fight when she's on cooldown. But if you're looking to increase her damage, you will likely find yourself running one of the Skathax Scotties, Waver, Takasugi Shinsaku, or other high-powered quick support servants. If you are lacking high-rarity support, Alexander, Zhang Jue, Marahari, and Hans Christian Andersen may be able to help. Though Izumo no Okuni does not require much support to get going, it is instead her endurance that is her limiting factor. So with that in mind, I would suggest using either a longer-term buff strategy and trying to stagger the buffs to keep her consistent, or stronger short-term buffing to try to get the most out of her burst damage. Izumo no Okuni Leveling. FGO Codex Entry 8-5. Izumo no Okuni is not a cheap servant to level up as a 5-star. She is already going to eat up a lot of resources. This is not helped by her caster status, as most masters level up a large number of casters, so she has to compete for those statues and gems. In addition to the cost of leveling her normal level, you can't forget her skills, all of which require a high level to reach their potential, as all the relevant stats are tied to skill level. She is a generally expensive servant to level up, and will require some investment before you see good damage out of her.